Greetings guys and gals, this is Jabberwock bringing you the best in esports, and I apologize for not uploading a video lately, and as in lately I mean the day and a half ago. And that's just because my Adobe Creative Suite 5 Premium Production Package came in from Ramtech actually 2 weeks early, which is freaking awesome. I really appreciate the guys at Ramtech, they do an awesome job. And so I got that for a discounted price because I am a student, and I've been messing around with that, you know, installing stuff, tweaking stuff, trying to put out the best type of video I can, looking at video quality, making my intro, making my outro, and so yeah, my intro and my outro are kind of in the beta stages. Don't know exactly what I want to do with them. I'm probably going to change them as we move on, but that's that. And I'm also going to get my fraps after the 1st of January, which is coming up, and so that's going to mean that I am going to be able to put out some Starcraft 2 stuff and hopefully higher quality Broodwar stuff as well. And what I want to know from you guys, if you know any other program that's as good as Fraps that also does DWM capture, which is desktop capture, which is like DivX, I don't really know, but it does desktop capture as well, because a lot of the capture stuff only does like video game capture, but I want to be able to do both. And Fraps gives me the ability to do that. But if you guys know a better program which is around the same price range as Fraps, which is $37, then definitely send me a message, comment, or PM me, do something like that. The winner of the 100th subscriber contest is Comic Scorpion, and so his pickup line was, "Hey Queen, want to spawn some broodlings?" which was pretty clever. I thought it was a nice little one-liner. And he actually thought that he was the only one that entered, but there's actually 3, which isn't a lot, I know, but there's actually 2 other guys who entered that contest, and I appreciate you guys for submitting your pickup lines and watching my videos as well. But what he wanted, instead of doing a dual com with me or being a guest in the podcast, is he wanted a shout out. So here's a shout out to Ricardo from Portugal, and really nice guy, Comic Scorpion. I'm hoping I'm saying his name right. And he sent me a PM, said a lot of nice things, probably one of the best PMs I've gotten. Very nice guy, well mannered, and he gave me some critiques and tips as well, but very nice guy. So Ricardo from Portugal, there's your shout out. What else? Oh yeah, and if you or Nikes ever want to do a dual com or be a guest in the podcast, feel free to ask, and I'll definitely hook you guys up, because you guys deserve something, even though I can't give you anything at this time. Hopefully by the time I do some other bigger contests, then I'll be able to give you guys something for watching my videos, give back to the community a little bit. Also, I've updated my channel, put my Twitter on there. If you guys want to talk Starcraft, just talk to me and we can talk about Starcraft, the current state of the Proleague or OSL, MSL, stuff like that. Just PM me and I'll give you my Skype, and we can set a time to talk. My email, Facebook, PM me, email, PM me. And then I just updated other types of stuff like the About Me, so go check that out. It's pretty cool. I've put a lot of work into my channel, so it'd be nice if you guys checked it out. But that's about it, I believe. Anything else? I don't think so. So let's get to the game. So this is going to be SKT1 versus Hwaseung Bisu versus Jaedong, and I'm so excited to cast this match, especially because I just got my new intro and outro. You'll see the outro obviously at the end of the video, but I think it was very fitting for me to pick this as my first kind of new video, just because the first video I ever watched was Bisu versus Jaedong, the first Pro League game I ever watched, casted by Cholera and Moltrap, which was very epic. And Cholera and Moltrap, they're my favorite commentators, not just because they're the first commentators I listen to, but also because they're so knowledgeable about the game. They know pretty much everything, they have so much insight, and they're very enthusiastic, and that's why I like them, and that's kind of what I aspire to be, is commentators like them. This is going to be on Aztec, and on TL, I looked up Aztec, and it was not this Aztec, because all the starting positions were at the corners, and there wasn't, the indented main base with the natural that was above your main base, and it was just really weird. But I've casted, enough games on this map, Aztec. Maybe that one was an earlier version, that I pretty much know a lot about this map. And your main base is indented compared to your natural. It's at a lower elevation, and your natural is a little bit higher. And so usually protest players try to choke off that point when they go for their forge fast expand, which is what Bisu's doing. Bisu's going to be scouting in the wrong direction. looks like Jaedong's Overlord is going to be going in the right direction, but it's not going to even help him that much just because that Overlord is so slow, and really what it's going to do is it's going to cue off Bisu as to where Jaedong is if he's able to get his probe back in time. It looks like we're going to see a 12 hatch or 12 pool from Jaedong as well. Well, this is going to be an awesome game, guys, because Bisu and Jaedong, you know, they have that kind of rivalry going on every time they play. It's just an epic game. Even when Bisu was in his slump, it was an epic game. And we see that Forge going down first as, you know, that's kind of well, not ballsy, I mean. That's kind of really necessary because he hasn't scouted him yet, and so he doesn't know if he went something like a quick pool, and so he wants to get that Forge down first. I think that once we see Bisu scout that 12 hatch, that he's going to put down his Nexus and probably his Gateway before he puts down any cannons, because he really doesn't need to. He really doesn't need to put down cannons unless there are Zerglings, and that spawning pool has just now got put down, and so we're probably not going to see Zerglings out for quite some time. Jaedong has also scouted Bisu's base, and apparently that was really funny. I wish I could read Korean or speak it so I would know what they were talking about, but we do see that Nexus going down for Bisu, and so he is going to go for that macro-esque play, and he's going to be very well defended. He's going to be pretty much unharassed. He's going to be able to get out just a little bit more, you know, of his economy and macro, just because he doesn't need to put down those 2 cannons or, you know, 1 cannon. And, you know, earlier in PvZ, what we used to see is still this kind of tentative thing where you needed to scout your opponent to see what kind of build order you're going to do in terms of Forge first, Nexus first, stuff like that. But we used to see a lot of 3 cannon defenses, but now, you know, usually we see at the most 2. We rarely see 3 cannons go down. And we do see those 2 cannons going down for Bisu after he has put down his Gateway. So pretty standard for PvZ. He might even be able to pick off this drone. Jaedong's running the drone. Here comes the probe. Is able to pick off the drone. And oh man, Jaedong is not happy about that, guys. Jaedong is pissed off. He is really mad. You can just tell by the look in his eyes, the absolute Jaedong eye, and he is pissed now. He's going to Bisu's base, going to kill it off with 2 Zerglings. That's all Jaedong needs. But no, it looks like he's going to pull back and give Bisu a second chance, building his lair as well. Obviously, you guys know that I favor Bisu over Jaedong, as Bisu is my favorite player. But Jaedong is probably my second favorite player. So really, whoever wins, I win either way. But Jaedong also expanding to that bottom right position, which is kind of peculiar because that position is really far away from his main and his natural, so it's going to be very hard to reinforce comparatively to if he would have built that base closer. I think he's banking on the fact that Bisu's not going to scout this, but it looks like a Zealot is going down, probably going to put some early pressure or possibly scout for extra bases, as this double expand is very common, especially when the Protest player goes Forge Fast Expand, which is, you know, almost 100% of the time. And this Zealot is going down to the base, and this is going to be scouted by Bisu. This is going to be really bad for Jaedong, just simply because he's not going to be able to reinforce. Like I said before, I know I said it before, but it's very critical that he's not able to reinforce. He's going to have to put another hatchery down there, just so he has enough larva in case Bisu comes in for attack that he's able to defend. And layer morphing in, Zergling's coming towards that probe. That probe is still live, and that's what Bisu's known for, is just looks like he canceled an egg there. Bisu is just known for keeping his probes alive for so long. These Zerglings probably are going to be able to take on this Zealot. 4 Zerglings is about equal to to a Zealot, just depending on if you're able to surround or not. But once he gets, you know, even an extra drone in there, he's going to be able to take that out. The Stargate is up, going to be making Corsairs. And, you know, we're just going to have to wait and see what kind of deviation Bisu goes after he goes for the Corsairs. If he goes for Reaver play, or if he goes for DTs, anything like that. If he goes for a big, you know, ground push like he went for Mass Zealots that one time versus Roro, I believe. Might have been on this map, actually, to be completely honest. Actually, no, it wasn't. No, I don't know. I don't know what map it was on, but yeah, Roro, definitely own Roro with that great Zealot timing push with +1 attack, which is so critical. He does have the Forge, so he could go for that. But I highly doubt it. It looks like he's just going to be producing this Corsair and, you know, just kind of scout around. Obviously going to be producing more, try to pick off an Overlord. And the thing about picking off Overlords is, you, as a Protest player, you need to at least pick off 1 to kind of be even. in today's style of play. Because if you pick off 1, you're pretty good. If you pick off 2, you're a little bit better. 2 is acceptable for the Zerg player, but if the Zerg player gets 3 overlords picked off, then he's going to be way behind just in terms of food and in terms of larva that he has to spend on those overlords. Those Zerglings are at the front of Bisu's base, so probably going to try to put a little bit of pressure, but at the same time, all he wants to do is just see what kind of units are coming out for Bisu, see if that Zealot push is coming, or anything else. And we do have those Zealots pushing out, trying to push away those Zerglings so they don't get a good scout on. And looks like I don't think he lost a cannon. Maybe he canceled one of the cannons, knowing that Jaedong wasn't coming to his base, and then rebuilding that cannon right there. Cannon's also going off in the main, and so he's going to be able to defend against Scourge, going to be able to run back his Corsairs to either base, going to be able to, save him from that, and which is what he's doing just now. Those Zerglings still trying to kind of, get their scout in, but not going to be able to. Zealots moving out now towards that southern base, and this is exactly what I'm talking about. Jaedong's going to have to, reinforce from so far away. These Zealots are going to be able to do quite the amount of damage, I believe, especially because there are not that many Zerglings in the area. The Zerglings are drastically trying to get back to the base. He's going to have to pull drones and build some sunken colonies, which is what he's doing. He's also building a Hydralisk Den, and I thought I saw a Hydralisk Den at his natural too, so he's going to build 2 Hydralisk Dens just in case this one gets picked off. It's building another creep colony, but these sunkens aren't even close to being formed yet. I'm pretty sure there's still creep colonies for the time being. One of the sunkens morphs in, another creep colony morphs in. It's not going to be turning into a sunken at the time, and that's actually probably a good move because he was able to defend that fairly well. More Zerglings came in, and he does have that other Hydralisk Den at that natural base, so he's going to have 2 Hydralisk Dens. Probably, I don't know why he's going to have 2 Hydralisk Dens. Maybe if he's going to go for a timing push with Hydralisk, but DTs are in the area. I did not see the Templar Archives. I saw the Citadel, did not see the Templar Archives. They might have shown that a lot earlier. Here comes a DT, going to be able to pick off a lot of drones just because there's no obs for Jaedong. Jaedong has no overlords in the area. He's going to have to run his drones to his main. He's going to have overlords in his main, but already 4 drones getting picked off. So this Hydralisk push from Jaedong is probably not going to work. He's probably going to have to spend a lot of his larva on Zerglings just because Hydras are a one-hit kill for DTs, which is so awesome, especially if they don't have the detection. If Jaedong doesn't have the detection, then he's going to be able to he's not going to be able to defend it. If he doesn't have detection, obviously he's not going to be able to defend it, and these Corsairs are just picking off his overlords, which is so nice. He's going to have to build a lot more Scourge to counter this, but at the same time, he's at the critical number of Corsairs to where Scourge really aren't going to be that effective, especially with Bisu's micro. He's picking up a base at that 230 position. The southern base is being harassed, and he's also in the meantime, while the attack was going on, picked off the base at the bottom right, so he's going to be at 4 bases, about 6 hatches, I believe. Good micro by Bisu, able to get away his DT, but no, the Zerglings catch up. Coming in from the north now, with this DT, is just doing so much damage, and as a Zerg player in StarCraft 1, you cannot lose drones. I mean, StarCraft 2, it's still really bad to lose drones, but StarCraft 1, awful. You don't want to lose drones in StarCraft 1 at all, especially because there is no queen to spawn larva for. There are queens, but they're obviously completely different units than in StarCraft 1. And so now we see more Corsairs coming out, so he's pretty much just going to commit to this Corsair Zealot push after the DT. He's probably going to put a DT in there as well, but now he's made an Archon, which is going to be so effective against these Zerglings. His space at the 230 position is almost up, so he's going to be at a critical number of bases to where he's going to be able to do a ton of damage. Might be going for another base at that 930 position is Jaedong, but I don't believe so. I think he's just running his Overlords or some type of force behind those mineral lines there, but here comes Bisu with a ton of Zealots, man. He's going to have so many Zealots, and I think that Jaedong has spent all of his air units, all of his gas on Scourge just because he's trying to get rid of these Corsairs. Picking off another Overlord, there's just way too many Zealots in the area. Those 3 sunken colonies are going to go down. Here comes a ton of Scourge. If he's able to pick off these Corsairs, that's going to be huge, but not really going to be that effective just because there are so many Zealots in the area. And wow, Bisu only losing 1 Corsair, all those Scourge going down, another Overlord going down. I'm expecting a GG from Jaedong anytime soon. He's going to lose this natural, possibly going to lose his main as well. He's going to be down to 2 bases, which is not where you want to be as a Zerg player. He's already lost so many drones. That's so bad for him. He's not mining gas from that base up there, and so that's going to be really bad. He knows it. He sees it. He senses it, that he's going to lose against Bisu, the Ninja Toss, to the Bisu build. And, honestly, Bisu is just playing on top of his game. For you guys who don't think that he's back, he is back. He is definitely back, although, well, I'm not going to say. Anyways, yeah, Bisu's just coming in with a ton of zealots. These Zerglings aren't going to stand a chance, and especially if he gets his +1 pretty soon, because that's going to make sure that these Zerglings die in one less hit than they otherwise would have. But absolutely just owning that Zergling army that came from the south, and GG coming from Jaedong. Bisu, look at him, man. He's just like, yep, that's me. That's me. I'm Bisu. I'm the best Protoss. I'm the best Protoss. And honestly, I think that as of right now, he is arguably to Stork. Stork is probably maybe slightly ahead, but him and Stork are pretty freaking close. Anyways, guys, that's game. Not really a huge game, but everyone is going crazy because it is Bisu versus Jaedong. But that's only the first set, so Hwaseung can come back. But they're going to need some help. Anyways, that's game. GG. Lates.